This is a pretty neat Pentium 3 all-in-one computer from the late 90s. I have no clue what the brand is. I googled the model number, it says TTH637, and all I get is this one Dutch auction that is just a Google result with no page working behind it. So I'm just going to boot it up and show you what it does. Actually works quite well. I so far couldn't get the sound card to work. It's a Pentium 3 750 MHz with 256 megabytes of RAM. I put some extra RAM in it because why not? And it's got your usual hardware, a DVD drive, a floppy drive, the usual chipset with built-in sound and video, and it's running Windows 98 now. When I got it ran Windows XP, but that was kind of pointless because I like to use this for old games, and those just run better on all the versions of Windows. So there you go. It's got the microcode failed error. Not sure what it means. Googled it, gave me loads of results, but it seems to be working fine otherwise. So I figured, oh well, let's just allow it this one error. And it boots, as you can hear, with no sound, which is a bit of a disappointment. I'm sure I'll figure it out. I may need your help for this, so bear with me. It's the screen, and it's actually doing quite a good job of being a screen. I'll show you right away what's up with the sound card. I did not install the modem, I couldn't be asked. I hope you don't mind. As you can see, it's a Creative ES1371 or 1373. I installed loads of drivers, but none of them seems to do the job. If anyone has an idea of what might be wrong, I'd love to get this thing working completely. Other than that, it's got an S3 Savage 4, which is kind of cool. It's got an infrared receiver, which is actually meant for the infrared receiver on the front of the computer to connect with the keyboard, which I'll show you in a minute. And here's your hard disk controllers. That's not very interesting. Here's a D-Link network adapter in it. And yeah, it's got PCMCIA, which may be useful in the future. And the broken sound card. Maybe there's something wrong with the hardware, I don't know. But so far it doesn't seem to do much. Very generic floppy disk. It's connected to the internet through a cable. I'm using SeaMonkey as it's the only browser that sort of works on Windows 98 and sort of opens most pages. It's obviously not exactly a powerhouse of a computer anymore after all these years. And you get all these certificate errors. No matter how many times I accept them, they just won't work properly. Well, there you go. And another one. As you can understand, it doesn't even recognize the font. Oh well. As you understand, I don't really use the internet on this computer because, yeah, it's not really working anymore. But it's kind of nice to type a direct link and download a game or something. So I use it for that. Talking about games, I actually installed quite a few because that's really what this computer is for. And that's also why I really want the sound card to work. Here's Prince of Persia blasting out of the PC speaker. It does bring back memories. Obviously running really smooth because, well, this was made for 286 on like 16 megahertz or something. So 750 megahertz is a bit overkill. Here you go. Ooh, here's the guy with the sword, right? Oh, let's not go there. Gotta love how the guy hums the wall. Yeah. And there's some other trip down memory lane games on it, like Keen 4, Stunts, 40 Sports Stunts, the first Need for Speed. A game that not many people seem to have heard about, but which is actually really worthwhile, is UGG. Let me show it to you. It's kind of cool. In the meantime, my cat's coming in, by the way. He's being noisy. So in UGG, you're like a little taxi driver in a pedal-powered helicopter. And you're supposed to pick up people and drop them off at other platforms. It's like a lunar lander, only slightly different. No rockets here. See, the guy tells you, I want to go to 3. So you wait for him to slowly enter your taxi. And then you drop him off at 3. There you go. And there's another guy waiting, not very patiently, at 2. So you pick him up and he's like, I want to go to 1. They don't have much choice, do they? So you take him to 1, obviously. That's the purpose of the game, and it gets harder as you go. with birds passing and... Oh, I failed, thank you. So yeah, this is Windows 98 again. Looks kind of cool to me. Here you go, CompuServe, AT&T, America Online, Prodigy Internet, whatever that is. This is not America, but this is definitely an American Windows 98 version. Let me show you the keyboard of doom. I'll remove this. And here it comes. Would you look at that? Isn't that horrifically beautiful? I just noticed there is actually a brand on this. It's called the Waytech Versato. So I'm going to Google Waytech if you don't mind, because this may be interesting. Nope, nothing interesting there. It's just the keyboard that's called Waytech Versato. It seems to be a part of this deal actually, but apparently it's just an infrared keyboard. And it's horrible because this is actually the mouse keys. And here's a little thumb thing to control the mouse with, and it sounds okay, but it just isn't very precise, and the keys are really heavy. This is probably the only keyboard I know that's worse than the first iMac keyboard. Allow me to demonstrate. I'm usually quite alright with trackpads and pointing devices and trackballs, but this, oh my. Okay, I'm going to my computer. It's sort of all or nothing. And you can see it's got a hard drive, oh yes. It's got a whole of 8 gigs on C and 10 on D, so that's 18 something, so that's a 20 gig hard drive. Makes sense, considering the age of the thing. And what else have we got? What did I install? I think I only installed games actually. Let's see what Paint was like again. It's the old-fashioned Paint. Controlling this with the keyboard would actually go much faster. Okay, let's go for... What was this imaging thing again? It was like an image viewer, right? I don't think I really ever used this. Yeah, I completely forgot about imaging actually. I always installed Microsoft Photo Editor. To anyone who still misses Microsoft Photo Editor, you can install, it's called Photo Filter with TRE at the end. And it actually does a good job of imitating Photo Editor. It's like great if you don't want to install Photoshop on a computer and you want to do something with photo editing. Look, it's got WinRAR! Of course you do. It's not been paid for, as you see. As for the keys themselves, well, I'm usually a really fast typist. As in, I easily make 650 strikes per minute, and a lot more if I really want to. But this keyboard, there you go, here we go already. This keyboard, well, you really have to be a bit of a masochist to want to type an email on this. As you can see, it is sort of going okay now, but trust me, I am doing a lot of effort pressing those keys down. Thank you. Good night. Speaking of good night, let's shut this down and show you the hardware. It's a bit of a process. Here comes a familiar sight. Windows is shutting down. We do not get the cool, it's now safe to turn off. Look at this. Ooh, that sticks for quite a while. We don't get the familiar, you can now turn off your PC screen because it's too modern for that, it turns itself off. Check out this hardware. On the right side you actually have your VGA slot there. I'm not sure if that's input or output. There's a little wheel here to adjust the screen brightness, really old-fashioned that. Then there's two PS2 connectors for your keyboard and mouse. There's two PCMCIA slots and two USB slots. I just unplugged the mouse and keyboard cables from that. And then there's your UTP network connection. On the other side there's a flap with your parallel port, two extra USB connectors, but that's a flap because who needs USB connectors, right? There's an RCA connector that could be either digital audio out, which I think it is since it's close to the audio connectivity things, or some sort of video input, but I don't think it has that anyway. It's not marked, so that's kind of exciting. And then there's a microphone in, line in, headphones or line out, and your modem connectivity, and yet another infrared port. The whole thing tilts, by the way, if you wanted to. And on the back there's your power connector and an LPT for your printer parallel thingy. And then there's this thing coming off, and you can see there's your RAM, and this is probably your power supply. Yeah, it is. As you can see, there's some information on the back, but it's not a lot. It says it's from Taiwan. I could look up that address. I am going to do that actually, but the model is TTH6377, telling me absolutely nothing. So that address gives me Tatung computers in Taipei, and it seems correct. It's a company that existed since 1918, and they apparently now make computers and screens and tablets and servers and thin clients, and this fits in there nicely. I have a feeling this computer has only been made for the Dutch market though, since the model number only gives me Dutch auction sites. But if anyone knows something about this machine, by all means tell me. And if anyone knows how to get that sound card to work, I'd love to know. Because I'd love to do some retro gaming on this thing. It's actually perfect for it. With the S3 and the small format, it actually would fit perfectly on my desk here with a keyboard and a mouse, and I could have some good old-fashioned 90s gaming fun. Thank you so much for watching. This has been a little presentation of this weird all-in-one computer that I got. I should actually tell you, I got it for free from the local garage. The guy knows I like computers, and actually got two of these with just one keyboard. The other one's surprisingly noisy, and it's only got a 600 MHz processor. And the hard disk is knackered. This one works fine actually, except for the microcode error on startup, whatever that may be. So having a lot of fun with this one, and I can't wait to get the sound going, because that actually will make it even better. Thank you for watching. Have a lovely evening.